You don't need a dopamine detox, you need a dopamine shift. With this video, reading a book will be just as entertaining as scrolling. Achieving your goals and ticking off your tasks will be just as addicting as video games. And eating healthy, nutritious foods that fuel your body will be just as addicting as eating those junk foods. Dopamine as a chemical is demonized when really it's the key to making you a literal self-improvement machine. It is ironically the self-improvement chemical. You've just been leveraging it wrong your entire life. You want to be increasing your dopamine baseline levels, not decreasing it. You want your baseline levels to be as high as possible. Bad dopamine that you think you might know is the extreme peaks in dopamine combined with the short time it takes to get those extreme peaks. For example, say someone is addicted to social media. When they're bored, they crave that comfort and bliss from scrolling and finding funny videos on their For You page. And what happens when they get that craving is that they go on the app and their dopamine skyrockets extremely high. And more importantly, the time gap between the stimulus and the dopamine is extremely short, paper thin. All it takes is literally a couple of swipes to get to your For You page, to get on that app, to get onto Instagram Reels, to get on whatever. And this is what the body learns and trains itself to remember, is that scrolling equals massive amounts of dopamine and euphoria. And in doing that, your body starts to only crave a stimulus with a high amount of dopamine that takes a little amount of time and a little amount of effort. This is a gargantuan problem, because not only can this give rise to social media addiction, but into any and all addictions that have the same short gap, lack of effort, and extremely high peaks in dopamine. AKA, how long does it take to search up corn and experience that huge peak in dopamine that we all know? How long does it take to go downstairs into the cookie jar and get a bunch of biscuits and stuff your face? How long does it take to boot up a game, boot up your PC, and start a 5-hour gaming session? Body craves not just the high peaks in dopamine, but the short time to get the dopamine and the low amount of effort for the dopamine. That's why a lot of people who have the addictions that I just listed are constantly finding an uphill battle when it comes to self-improvement, and they will find it astronomically harder to go for these goals with longer gaps and that require more effort. And most likely their goals will be more centered towards hedonistic desires with high peaks in dopamine. However, even if they do get to these goals, the dopamine peaks are going to be significantly lower. Don't worry though, it gets worse. However high and however steep the peak is for the activity is however low the trough will be when you get off that activity. Why do you think when you were a kid and you had to get off the game, you literally had an insurmountable pain, insurmountable feeling of just pain when you had to hop off the game to do anything? Now, after you stop these activities, not only is the dive in dopamine going to be deep, it's actually going to lower your baseline level significantly, and it's going to take an even longer time for you to get up back to your baseline levels. So overall, you're going to have lower dopamine and happiness than when you started. Your dopamine baseline will be lower. This is horrible, because the higher your dopamine baseline, the higher and more motivation you have to actually move, get up out of bed, and actually do stuff. Go after your goals and your desires. And this is what triggers the desire and deeper desire for even more. After that trough, that huge trough, you get the feeling of more, having and wanting more of that same addiction, because you want to feel that high again and you want to feel better. That's why after hopping off the game with your friends for multiple hours, you get that feeling of emptiness, of loneliness, longing for more. That's why shortly after eating that cookie, you want more cookies. And that's why after doing you know what, the drop and the depression is just as horrible as the peak, and you relapse multiple times. That's why after scrolling on them social media apps, you still get that haze and irritation and boredom that you still had before you got on them. It's a vicious cycle. It's a death cycle. Let's break it. Because you can actually replace all of these dopamine activities and actually crave these longer dopamine activities, actually working towards your goals. There's a reason why these top businessmen and these people who are successful can work for so long. It's because it doesn't feel like work anymore. They've replaced their horrible and stupid habits like playing games all day with actually doing the work. And the work feels like they're playing games. Not in the literal sense, but in the sense that they're still getting that high amount of dopamine while they're working. They're literally getting it from their work. And the best part is, it doesn't even feel like work to them. This whole thing of, oh, I need to grind it, oh, I need to grind, do this, oh, we need to get them. No, it's not even meant to feel like that. At the start, it is the grind, but soon, and as you progress, it's literally going to be the love. First and most important step, sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, go ahead and log off for me. Can't take you serious, because sleep is literally the #1 most important thing when it comes to replenishing your dopamine levels and actually getting back on track and working at your full capacity. Every single day, you are literally working at 40% mind capacity if you think that getting 6 hours of sleep is actually good for you. Oh, I work better on 6 hours of sleep, I feel more energized. Shut up, man. You're an imbecile if you think you can actually outwork a bad sleep schedule. If you want to have a high risk of getting Alzheimer's and cancer when you're older, go ahead, be my guest, along with a whole list of other stuff as well. Go ahead, be my guest, bro. Not only should you be getting your hours of sleep, but you should also be getting quality sleep. I recommend actually getting one of these sleep apps and actually tracking your sleep and seeing how good of quality sleep you're getting. If you're breathing through your mouth, if you're sleeping on your stomach, if you're waking up in the middle of the night, if you're snoring, your sleep quality is poo-poo, it's garbage, garbaje. I have a sleep guide in which you can fix all of these things, but you don't even need to watch my video. Do your actual research. This is a very important thing that you need to be fixing immediately, and this is most likely the reason why you're even in this predicament in the first place. The number one common denominator on people who are failing and struggling on self-improvement is that their sleep is poo-poo, it's garbage. Fix it. Fix it. Now, this is the main juice of the video. This method will not only increase your baseline dopamine levels, but it's actually something that you can track and you can consistently get better at. It's going to help you in other facets of your life. This is an OP method. I got this from Carl Ram's video. He's a GOAT YouTuber. Please check him out. But it's called flow meditation. He doesn't actually call it that in the video, but I just think it's cool. You know, I'm an animator and I like to add these little Using this method of non-sleep deep rest, you can actually increase your dopamine levels by up to 65% and possibly even more. Meditation doesn't actually increase your baseline dopamine levels. There's no research and studies that actually show that. However, this form of meditation will. It's better, it's amazing. First step, take a bit of action, do a single push-up. I promise this actually relates to the method. Just do one single push-up. You could do one push-up, it's not that deep. Come on, man. Okay, cool, you've done your push-up, that's great. Okay, you haven't? Okay, I'm still giving you time to do it. Okay, cool, you've done your push-up, great. Now take one deep breath, very deep breath. Breathe with your belly, your diaphragm, this area. Breathe. You don't have to breathe out through your mouth, just breathe out through your nose. Breathe out through any orifice, any hole. Right, now the last thing I want you to do is I want you to expand your vision so that you can see as much as your vision as possible. Make sure you're looking in an ultra wide resolution. See everything in your vision as much as possible. See everything and nothing at the same time. Don't see the single leaf, see the entire forest. Real ones will get that reference. This is the essence of the method. Be one, be present in the moment and look at your entire surroundings. Feel your entire surroundings. Look and take in everything. Try and look and see as much of your peripheral vision as you can. Literally try and make out the details in everything in your peripheral vision. This is the essence of this meditation. Your mind is the iron. It's heated up, it's forged, and it's tempered in the water to strengthen it. After that, it's refined and hit and molded and sharpened into a fine blade. You will do this on a larger scale though. You'll start in the mornings with this method as soon as you wake up. Carl Ram's video, he said you can do as many push-ups as in Carl Ram's video, he said do as many push-ups as you can in 1 minute. However, I think you can actually increase this by switching out with even burpees or planks or anything that pretty much increases your heart rate, and doing as much as you can of that in 1 minute. This post-editing for it's burpees. You are putting your body into this stress-like state just for 1 minute, and having cortisol at the start of the day is actually a good thing. It keeps you alert and actually helps you. It's having it towards the end of the day and in the middle of the day which is a problem. Now it's bringing that stress and then cooling it down to the parasympathetic nervous system and cooling it down and calming yourself down. For the rest of the time, your breath is deepened. You're in a relaxed state, you're present in the moment, you're focused on your entire surroundings as a whole. It's going to completely skyrocket your composure in all stressful situations as well. There's a lot of secret stuff this is going to help with as well, but in this video this will mainly be used to increase your dopamine, as it's a form of non-sleep deep rest that most people don't talk about. Now again, if you're getting horrible sleep, this method isn't going to do much for you all. It's pretty much it's going to do poop for you if you don't get your good sleep. However, another one of the most important parts is to take out the activities that are draining you, the activities I just said that are bad for you. Yes, video games, yes, social media, yes, all of that. I'm going to be making a social media optimization guide soon where you can detox from social media and still use it, but in an optimized way. Now I'm not going to be spoiling none of that, but that's a video for another day. However, I will give you some dopamine activities that will replace these and actually get you on that track to getting your real dopamine back and your real happiness. There's a reason why when you were a kid, the entire world was fun. You didn't have to have certain experiences to have fun. You were literally just existing and being present in the moment and having fun throughout all of life. Life was more colorful, life was more experienced, everything was more vibrant, everything was better. This is a eudaimonic view of life. The reason why some things may not seem as fun anymore, especially games, they might not seem as fun anymore, is because when you start these habits, these peaks are super high, but eventually they start to get less. However, the troughs are just as big and they actually get bigger. So you are still trying to seek that high amount of dopamine, but you're not getting it, and it's actually getting worse and worse and worse. Stop these habits and replace them. Let me give you them. Video games are a complete replacement for real life and a man's actual purpose to actually go out there and get goals, to go out and explore and actually have desire to achieve things. Self-improvement completely takes this away. Get some tasks, get some goals. In fact, watch my self-improvement guide as well. That's going to actually help you to get your goals and actually start ticking them off and doing them. And the act of ticking them off, the act of fulfilling your potential as a man, is going to be the real dopamine that you're going to get, the real delayed gratification. Sculpting your body, getting the money that you need to fulfill your potential and to help your family now and in the future. Replace scrolling with reading at least 10 pages a day in anything and any skill that you want to get better at, whether that's sales, marketing, learning about human nature and skills and communication in general. I say 10, I say a low amount because you can read all the chapters you want. You have to actually apply and understand what you're learning. Applying is the main thing. Don't just be one of those people who read books and just have the information in their head thinking that they're past everyone else. Apply that stuff. You haven't actually done anything. You haven't moved the goalpost towards the action of actually getting better at that skill. Replace fapping with not fapping. There's no replacement. I'm not going to tell you to go out and lustfully go for all the girls and, you know, do all the girls and all that stuff. No. But the main defeater, and that's probably holding you back the most, is that flipping social media, that flipping scrolling apps. For one, again, can't take seriously if you actually have TikTok on your phone and you're trying to stop scrolling on social media. Delete it. Same with Instagram. Delete it. Oh, I use it to talk with my friends. Delete it, bro. If you're actually serious about this, because there's a lot more that I could fit into this video. Oh, how it's bad for you, this and that. There's way more that I could talk about. Yeah, social media optimization guy coming soon. Many more other guys come soon. If you genuinely enjoyed this video, not even if you enjoyed, if you thought the information was actually good in this video, then like it, helps push it out to the algorithm, whatever. If you want to see more of me, then subscribe. But if it's like a one and done video, don't subscribe, just watch the video. It's cool. The fact that you even here to the end is absolutely terrific for me. I appreciate you watching. You can literally do anything. The world is yours. Peace.